10 silent actions to show your true worth to your loved one. Have you ever wondered how to be the best version of yourself in your relationships? This is a question many of us ask because we long for respect and genuine connections with those around us. So how can you gain genuine admiration, not just for superficial qualities or achievements, but for who you truly are at your core? Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like and share this video. This helps us reach more people and allows more folks to benefit from these valuable lessons. Imagine each relationship as an adventure, and you are the explorer of yourself. You want to discover the hidden treasures within your soul and share them with others. But for that, you need a map, a path that leads to understanding, connection, and ultimately, love. Today, I'll guide you in discovering your true worth in a relationship, based on 9 ancient Stoic philosophical lessons. So pay attention, because these are not mere empty pieces of advice you usually hear. It's about empowering yourself in ways you might not have imagined. Get ready to uncover the mysteries of cultivating a life full of love and meaningful relationships built on mutual respect and inner strength. Now let's start understanding your true worth and how Stoicism relates to understanding your value in relationships. The Stoics believed in focusing on what we can control, and guess what? Your high value is entirely in your hands. It's not about how many likes you get on social media or if someone shows interest in you. It's about how you see and appreciate yourself. Imagine this: you are a precious gem. Not everyone recognizes the value of a rare gem, right? Some may pass by without noticing its importance, but that doesn't diminish the gem's value. It remains precious, rare, and unique. That's you. Your value doesn't decrease just because someone doesn't see it. Let's be honest. We've all experienced rejection and felt inadequate, especially in today's world, where everyone seems to be thriving. But here's the real point. With a Stoic perspective, your value doesn't depend on someone else's validation. It's tied to how you conduct yourself, your principles, your actions. Are you compassionate? Are you honest? Do you live according to your values? That's where your true worth lies. The Stoics believed in self-reflection. So take a moment to consider your qualities, not just the obvious ones, but the deeper aspects of what truly matters. And you'll find strength in relationships. It's about finding strength in your own value, your self-esteem, whether others recognize it or not. Always remember, understanding your worth is not a one-time event. It's a continuous journey, a practice that evolves over time. It's about waking up every day and acknowledging to yourself that you are valuable, not because of someone else's opinion, but because of the inherent qualities that make you who you are. Presenting yourself with dignity is a central concept in Stoicism, which is not about suppressing your emotions or being indifferent. It's about understanding what deserves your energy and what doesn't. The way you present yourself is crucial because it reflects a lot about your self-respect. In relationships, you may have noticed that sometimes we go to great lengths to impress someone, changing the way we dress or speak, all in hopes of gaining approval. But the key point here is that your self-respect is not tied to your fashion style or the trendy places you frequent, but to how you carry yourself, the things you do, and the decisions you make. Imagine you're in a classroom observing 2 presentations. One student is flamboyant, using grand words and gestures to impress the audience, while the other is composed and speaks with confidence, without any pretense. Usually, it's the genuine and comfortable student in their own skin who leaves a lasting impression. This highlights the importance of presenting yourself with dignity. The Stoics, known for their philosophy of self-control and virtue, emphasize the importance of living honestly and respecting oneself. So, how does this apply to dating today? It's simple. Be authentically yourself. If you love diving into books, embrace it. If you have a strong passion for something, let it shine. It's not about pretending to be someone else. It's about feeling comfortable and secure in yourself, understanding that you are valuable just as you are. Here's another important point: treating yourself with respect. The way you treat yourself sets the standard for how others will treat you. If you are constantly criticizing yourself, you are essentially saying it's acceptable for others to do the same. However, when you respect yourself, value your time, your energy, you are making a bold statement. I deserve respect and expect to be treated accordingly. Think about what Epictetus, a wise Stoic philosopher, said: "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." In relationships, it's not just about your appearance or words, but your responses and behavior in various situations. Do you react with despair or sacrifice your principles to fit in? Or do you stay true to yourself, even if it means standing alone? This doesn't require perfection. We are all humans with our flaws and awkward moments. What matters is how you handle those moments. Do you crumble under pressure or stay strong, learn, and move forward? Let's take a moment to reflect. Starting to show more dignity to ourselves can involve setting clear boundaries or refusing things that don't align with our values. It can also mean treating yourself with more compassion and respect. When you see yourself as worthy of respect, others will start to see it too. The art of non-verbal communication may seem a bit old-fashioned or strict at first glance, but please hear me out. It's not about being unapproachable. It's about respecting yourself and recognizing your worth. So, what does Stoicism have to say about this? Stoicism teaches us how to control ourselves and stay strong, but not in a rigid or boring way. It's about understanding what truly matters and not giving in so easily in a world where we want things immediately and keep scrolling endlessly. The Stoic seems like a breath of fresh air. Let's think about this. In relationships or when we're getting to know someone, there's often this rush to share everything: our time, our space, our deepest feelings. But the Stoics suggested taking a step back. Why? Because when something is always available, it loses its specialness. That's how humans are. If you're always available when someone needs you, always saying yes to everything, where's the excitement, the mystery, the anticipation? Let's talk about how to set boundaries gracefully in the Stoic way. First, it starts with your appearance. Dressing stylishly but modestly isn't just about looks. It sends a message, communicates, I respect myself. You're not hiding, but you're also not revealing everything at once. It's about finding balance, expressing that there's more to you than what meets the eye. Another crucial aspect is managing your time and focus. In a hyper-connected world, being selective about who gets your time is a significant choice. It's not about playing games, it's about stating, my time is precious, and I prioritize it thoughtfully. When you're with someone, be fully present and engaged. However, when you're not, it's okay to be unavailable, dedicating your energy to your own life, interests, and personal development. Stoicism also emphasizes emotional self-control. It doesn't advocate being cold or disconnected, but encourages maintaining a balanced perspective. This means not letting minor things affect you deeply. It's about preserving inner peace and composure. You don't give your emotional energy to everyone. It's something that should be earned, just like you selectively allocate your time and attention. I'm not suggesting you become insensitive or distant like a Stoic statue. We're all human, and genuine connections are essential for a fulfilling life. However, there's value in pacing yourself, in forming connections that aren't based solely on immediate gratification. It's about creating meaningful relationships that have depth and durability, something that goes beyond instant access and quick fixes. It's important to note that setting boundaries isn't about playing tricks or controlling situations. It's about respecting yourself and staying true to your principles. It's about demonstrating, not just with words but also with actions, that you value yourself and deserve to be treated with respect. So here it is. be a bit more selective, composed, and stoic in our approach to relationships. It's about finding a balance between openness and discernment, between sharing and holding back. And believe me, this greatly influences how others see and treat you. Let's value ourselves and adopt a touch of stoicism in today's relationship scene. Being ready to part ways in stoicism is a powerful idea about letting go, not in a distant or indifferent way, but in understanding what we can change and what we cannot. One of the most empowering actions we can take is deciding whether to stay or leave a situation that isn't aligned with our well-being. This becomes particularly significant in relationships. We've all been there. It's not being in a place where we know we deserve better but choose to stay. It could be fear of loneliness, fear of change, or simply the hope for improvement. But this is where Stoicism comes in, reinforcing that we have the power to stay or leave situations that go against our principles, and we can choose a different path. This doesn't imply that you should give up as soon as things get tough. Relationships require effort, understanding, and time. However, it's crucial to understand your high value and principles so deeply that when something fundamentally contradicts them, you're prepared to move on. It's about having that inner resilience, that stoic courage, to assert, I respect myself too much to settle for less than I deserve. Let's dive deeper into this idea. Being prepared to leave a situation is about self-respect. It means standing by what you believe and knowing your own worth. It doesn't have to be a dramatic exit. Sometimes it's a quiet choice, a peaceful realization that this isn't right for you. Sure, it can be scary, I get that feeling. The uncertain future can be intimidating, but think of our Stoic friends. They showed us the importance of facing challenges bravely and accepting life's uncertainties. It's about understanding that sometimes the bravest action is letting go of something that isn't aligned with your path. This perspective can change everything. When you're in a relationship and realize you're there because it reflects your values, not because you're afraid to leave, it's a game changer. It changes the entire dynamic. You're not staying out of desperation or fear. You're staying because it's your genuine choice. Here's the main point. When you bravely walk away from what doesn't serve you, you make room for what does. It's like clearing out the old to welcome the new. It's about having faith that better things are waiting for you and giving yourself the chance to discover them. Let's remember that being prepared to move on isn't about being callous or indifferent. It's about valuing and caring for ourselves enough to say, I deserve better. It's about embodying stoicism when challenges arise, understanding that our worth doesn't depend on anyone else. Establishing boundaries silently. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of actions over words. The Stoics advocated demonstrating rather than merely declaring beliefs, which is particularly relevant when discussing setting boundaries in relationships. It's one thing to talk about your boundaries, but it's much more impactful to show them through your actions. Consider this, it's easy to say, I won't tolerate mistreatment, but the true test is when you encounter such behavior. Will you uphold your boundary or give in? That's where true strength lies. Not in words, but in actions. I understand this isn't simple, it can be challenging, especially when emotions are involved. However, let's remember the wisdom of the Stoics. We have the power to choose our responses to situations. If someone crosses a boundary, it's your response that establishes and reinforces that boundary, not just your words. Let's imagine a situation where honesty is a core value for you, and someone lies. How you respond at that moment shows how serious you are about your boundaries. If you choose to address the issue calmly or decide to walk away, your actions demonstrate your commitment to your values. It's not about causing a scene, but about showing self-respect by reacting in a way that aligns with what you believe. This approach can make a significant difference in relationships. When others see that you have clear boundaries and are willing to enforce them, they gain a better understanding of what you will and will not accept, nurturing self-respect and staying committed to it. Let's delve into a fundamental concept with a simple approach. It's not just the significant events that count, but also the everyday moments. How do you react when plans change abruptly, or when someone doesn't value you enough? Do you brush it off, or express calmly through words and actions that such behavior isn't acceptable? This is where Stoic mindfulness comes in. It's about paying attention to the here and now and how you respond to it. Are your actions in line with your boundaries? Are you being authentic to yourself? It's important to be mindful of the small moments because that's often where your boundaries are truly tested. As you go through your day and interact with others, let's strive to incorporate a touch of Stoicism in expressing our boundaries. It's not about being stubborn or inflexible. It's about having that inner guide that shapes how we act and respond. Trust me, when you adopt this approach, people notice. They begin to see you as someone who not only sets boundaries, but also values yourself enough to uphold them. Actions speak louder than words, as we've learned. Stoicism is about using practical wisdom, which means judging people based on what they do, not just what they say. In our world, many people say beautiful things but don't follow through. This is especially true in relationships. The Stoics advise us to see beyond the charm and focus on actions, because actions show what's real. Consider this. It's simple for someone to say all the right things, promise things, describe a future that seems perfect. But do they actually do what they say? Do their actions support their words? That's where the truth lies. Let's be honest for a moment. We've all been there. We meet someone, they say amazing things, and we're charmed. But over time, their actions don't match their words. They promise to call but don't. They make plans only to cancel at the last minute. Yet, we cling to their words. This is when our Stoic mindset should take the reins. Stoicism reminds us not to be swayed by words or let emotions take over. It's about being logical and seeing reality clearly. When someone's actions don't match their words, that's a red flag. It's like the universe saying, "Hey, pay attention, something's not right here." This mindset changes how you handle relationships. Instead of being swept away by sweet words and promises, you start noticing the little details, how they behave, whether they keep their promises, if they are there for you not just in words, but in meaningful actions. Here's the fascinating part. When you focus on what people do rather than just what they say, you set a standard. You're telling them, "I'm not just listening to your words, I'm watching your actions." And this really makes an impact. They realize they can't just talk their way into your life. They need to prove they are genuine and worthy of your trust. But remember, this isn't about being negative or distrusting everyone. It's about being wise, about protecting your feelings with a dose of Stoic insight. It means not letting emotions carry you away, but staying realistic. So let's remember, let's pay attention not just to words. Let's approach love with a Stoic mindset, being logical, observant and thoughtful, because in the end, actions carry more weight than words. Cultivating healthy skepticism, Stoicism and reality are closely linked. The Stoics believed in understanding situations as they are, not as we wish they were. This philosophy is particularly useful in love and dating. We've all been there, right? When someone says all the right words, we're eager to believe them, even when there are red flags we choose to ignore. This is where adopting a Stoic mindset can be beneficial. Being appropriately skeptical is like having a superpower. It doesn't mean being pessimistic or distrustful. It's about staying realistic and not accepting everything at face value. It involves being observant, asking questions, and not rushing into things without some careful consideration. Imagine this scenario. You meet someone new and they seem fantastic. They are saying all sorts of lovely things, even talking about a future together, but it's only been a short time. Your Stoic, skeptical mindset would advise you to take it slow, to wait and see if their actions align with their words, and to observe how things unfold. It's like a gentle touch of reality, urging you not to get swept away by passion and to stay grounded and watchful. This skepticism isn't about bombarding the other person with questions or doubting their every move. It's about being thoughtful. It means not just listening to what they say, but also observing their actions. It involves taking the time to really get to know someone, to see if they are consistent and genuine. The Stoics emphasized using logic and reason, not just being carried away by emotions. In relationships, this approach is crucial. When emotions dominate, we can overlook important details, but when we combine our feelings with a dose of skepticism and logical thinking, it allows us to see things more clearly. And here's another important aspect. It's about protecting your heart. By maintaining a bit of skepticism, you're not rushing into something uncertain. You're giving yourself the opportunity to truly understand the other person, rather than projecting your desires onto them. So let's remember the importance of adopting a touch of Stoic skepticism. It's about being smart, attentive, and not letting emotions dominate us. It's about protecting ourselves and our emotional well-being. It's not about closing ourselves off, but approaching new opportunities with careful consideration and wisdom. Saying no confidently in Stoicism is important for upholding your values and having the courage to stay true to yourself. This is especially relevant when it comes to saying no in relationships. It means understanding your beliefs and not hesitating to maintain your expectations, even if it causes some disruption. Imagine you're in a relationship and your partner proposes something that doesn't feel right to you. Maybe moving too quickly or asking you to do something against your values. The simple choice might seem to go along with it, but this is where your Stoic mindset becomes crucial. Saying no in these situations is about valuing yourself, your beliefs, and your boundaries. Let's be realistic. This isn't a walk in the park. It can be super tough, especially when you care about the person. That little voice in your head keeps whispering, "What if saying no drives them away?" But hey, here's the point. We have to summon our courage. Stoicism isn't just about dealing with external things. It's also about facing our internal struggles head-on. Saying no is about self-respect. It's about showing that you value yourself too much to accept anything less than what you deserve. Sure, this comes with a risk. You might end up losing the person. However, here's the crucial point. If refusing something against your values drives someone away, maybe they weren't the right match for you in the first place. Taking this approach can truly transform the dynamic of a relationship. When someone realizes you aren't afraid to say no and that you won't compromise your values just to please them, it changes how they see you. It demonstrates that you have self-respect and that you value yourself. And let me tell you, that's incredibly attractive. And here's another Stoic perspective. Saying no isn't just about setting boundaries with others, but also about being true to yourself. It's about recognizing your genuine desires and needs in a relationship and staying true to them. It's about not letting the fear of loneliness push you into decisions that aren't aligned with your true self. Let's take a pause on this. Let's affirm that saying no is not just acceptable but essential. It's about remaining authentic to ourselves, living with integrity as the Stoics emphasized. It's about nurturing relationships based on mutual respect and genuine connection rather than fear and concession. Never chase, always value. This ties in perfectly with everything we've discussed, especially when we view it through our Stoic lens. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control and let go of what we can't. This idea is incredibly powerful. When we think about relationships, it's crucial to realize that chasing someone who is pulling away from us is not only futile, but also counterproductive to our own value and self-awareness. Imagine this situation. You're dating someone and everything seems great, but then they start to pull away. Our natural reaction, one we've all experienced, is to chase after them, to try to close that gap. But this is where Stoicism can guide us. The Stoics would ask, why are you chasing something that is not within your control? The answer lies in your high value, your dignity, and your inner peace. Chasing someone who is pulling away is like trying to catch water with your hands. It's futile and leaves you feeling empty. Instead, the Stoic approach encourages you to stand firm in your high value. If someone is pulling away from you, let them go. It's not about being cold or insensitive. It's about realizing that you can't control how others feel or act, but you have full control over how you choose to respond. Facing this isn't simple. Resisting the urge to chase someone requires considerable inner strength. However, it's about having faith that if someone truly values you, they will show it. It's refusing to let someone else's behavior define your worth. It's asserting, I deserve respect, and if you can't see that, someone else will. This mindset changes everything. It puts the power back in your hands. You're no longer subject to the unpredictable actions of someone else. You're in control of how you feel and what you do. It's empowering, and frankly, it's liberating. And here's the twist. When you stop chasing others and start investing in yourself, in your life, in your development, wonderful things happen. You naturally attract individuals who are drawn to your confidence and high value. It's as if you're broadcasting a message that declares, I value myself and am aware of my worth. So let's internalize this lesson. Let's reaffirm that we never need to chase anyone. Let's adopt a Stoic mindset in our relationships, composed, self-sufficient, and focused on what we can control. It's about finding inner peace within ourselves, not seeking validation from others. As we come to the end of our conversation today, I want you to hold on to something very important. In the vast tapestry of life, your high value is like the brightest thread that ties everything together. Just as the Stoics believed, you can decide how to respond to what happens around you. Remember, you are in control of your own honor and self-esteem. Embrace your inner strength. Let your actions, decisions, and boundaries reflect the incredible person you are. And if you ever doubt yourself, remember this moment and the Stoic wisdom we've discussed. Life isn't just something you endure. It's an opportunity to evolve, becoming stronger and wiser each day. As we wrap up our conversation today, I want you to remember that your true value is always within reach, reflected in your actions, decisions, and the way you present yourself to the world. Embrace Stoic wisdom to strengthen your relationships and your self-esteem. Did you like today's ideas? Leave a comment below with I am inspired if this video touched your heart. Remember to subscribe and click the notification bell so you don't miss our upcoming conversations. And don't stop here. Explore our recommended playlist for more life-changing insights. Together, we continue this journey, one step at a time. Until next time, take care and keep embracing your inner Stoic.